Gardening channel, and in this adventure I'm going to be cleaning out the pond. Now, I've been maintaining ponds for over 30 years. I used to have my own landscaping company, and I've had two different houses, and I've maintained the pond at both. Actually, when I moved to this house in the earlier 2000s, we even brought our rocks and even our liner. We ended up having to get a different liner over time. But so today, with the springtime, the weather's getting better. We're going to have multiple warm days in a row. So I'm going to clean out the pond today, and I hope you enjoy this messy adventure. And then after I do finish draining it today, we're going to catch the fish. And then I also have tadpoles are in here. We got a later start this year because the weather wasn't as nice, and it took a while for it to get nice a few days in a row, but the frogs didn't care. So we have a bunch of tadpoles already. So I'm gonna have to catch some of those tadpoles. We're gonna put them in the bucket along with the fish as well. And after that, I'll start to scrub it. And I have a soft scrubber. Obviously, I don't want anything abrasive, or I don't want to tear the liner at all. So I'll be doing that as well. And you can keep following along with this video. We're going to show you everything we're going to do while we're cleaning the pond. And then the last thing that I'll end up doing after I get it refilled and get the And then after I get it refilled, we're going to start to work on the waterfall. And I have to make sure that it's going to be level and that there's going to be no leaks, and that shouldn't be an issue. But I do have to check because I'm using the same hose that I had last year. And we'll get to that later on in the video. And now we're resuming pumping out the water. There's still some frogs in here, and we're going to catch the tadpoles, as many as we can. We don't want them to die and get washed away. So we'll just keep rolling with it. And then after we do clean it out, I'll start to scrub it. But I have to get it to run clear first. I don't want all this muck in here. I got to get that out. And then after we do that, then we'll get to the scrubbing process. Video. See the tadpoles. There's just that many of them. We'll get as many as we can up in there. I hate to put all the muck in there, but I'm going to have to throw it in there. Just you can definitely see them. Some of them on the side. I'm going to have to pluck them back into the water. Gosh, there's just so many of them. Tadpole party.
All that moving in there is tadpoles. Frogs like to come in our pond and lay all these little eggs, and now they're all little tadpoles. So what we're trying to do is take most of them out. Some of them won't make it, but we're trying to get most of them out of the pond so we can scrub it and refill it and put the plants back in.
I started catching the tadpoles, but there's plenty more. So what I'm going to start to do is use my scrub brush. As I said, it's not abrasive. It's very soft, and I'm going to just push everything down here, and I'm going to keep cleaning it out and catching the tadpoles. Hopefully we can catch all of them and get this done. You can see how messy it is. A lot of leaves fell in over the winter, but it'll be running clean. A frog just jumped up past my shoe. So I'm going to push all this down here, and then I'm going to get rid of it in the woods and just keep cleaning it. It'll run clean, and I'll keep catching the tadpoles in here, and then I got to get the plants out as well, and I'm going to put them in another container and keep them there until I get it all cleaned out, and then I'll put the plants back in. You can see that frog trying to jump out as I'm doing that. Now I'm going to start grabbing the plants and getting them out. And then I'll keep scrubbing the sides and catching these crazy tadpoles and try to avoid these frogs.
There's a frog over
Everywhere. They congregate to our pond. They love it here. Caught him in the...
Oh,
there he goes.
there he goes. Bye. See you later.
Now that got in there, cardboard. All kinds of things, surprises you find over the winter. And I've been scrubbing this for about 30 minutes or so. So I keep going around the whole perimeter and I'm trying to get it to run clean. There'll be some algae on the sides and I'm just scrubbing it off, trying to get the water to run clean. And then after the water run cleans, then I can refill the pond. So we're getting there. You can see like up here in this area, it's definitely cleaner. But you can see down there, it's still a little murky. But we're just gonna keep scooping it out and scrubbing the sides. Going all around the whole thing, just being gentle to make sure we don't want to puncture the liner at all. So just keep going all around, and then I'll keep running the water through the hose and scooping it out, and within the next 10 minutes or so I think it's going to be clean and it's going to be ready to refill. It's much clearer. I think I can just run the hose one more time through and then I'll be done, and then I can start to refill it. It was a little bit of a messy process. It was dirty this year. We made it through. And we made it to the end of the cleaning process. Now we're refilling the pond. It was a bit messier this year. We did have a harsh winter. Also, our neighbors have Leland cypress trees and they were very messy. Windy days, all that debris blows in here, and over the winter we had a lot. And I was able to clean all of that out. Now it's running clear and we're gonna fill it back up, and then I'm gonna get the filter running again. And then after that, I'll work on the waterfall, and when I get everything up and running, I'm gonna put the fish and the tadpoles back in the pond. Then all the frogs are gonna hop back in and make more tadpoles. And we're refilling right now. You can see I got the filter running again. And tomorrow we're going to do the waterfall. Lots of stuff for that. There's the tub that the water's gonna flow out of. And then there's my filters and all for the waterfall. And that'll all be set back up tomorrow, and we'll show you the process on that as well. And then I have a hose that goes through, and I have some clamps to make sure that it doesn't come off. So all that's coming up tomorrow. And then we're also I'll be adding the fish back into the pond. And welcome back to our pond video, and now we're going to set up the waterfall. Now the first step is to get the tub up here in place, and I've already placed that. We always put it in the same spot every year. Underneath it I have 2 pieces of wood, so it just goes in the same spot every year, and I just made sure it was level. So we want it to be level from side to side, and I checked that and it is, so we're good there. And it doesn't have to be level from front to back because we want it to lean forward a little bit so that the water falls into the pond and not away from the pond. And then after we have that set up, which we do, we're going to have the filtration system next. This is the box, and I'm going to connect this hose to the filtration right here, and then I'm going to hook the other end to the pump over here, and then when we put the pump in the water, it goes inside of here to protect it from getting clogged and sitting at the bottom of the pond. So after we do all that, then I'll be able to hook it up, and I hook it up with these clamps. So I have these clamps that I'm going to put on each end of the hose to make sure that we don't have any leaks and that it's nice and tight and secure. So we're going to start there, and the first thing I'll do now, I'm going to put the box together. So the box goes just like this. You put the sponges in there like that, and then there's 2 connectors on the side, and you snap them in. And then you want to make sure this is closed and this is on too, because if you want to empty this box, you just take this off and then you lift up this, and then all the water will flow out. So when you want to clean it, that's how you do that. And then you can run it underwater and clean the sponges and everything else. But you want to make sure that is tight and secure on here while we're doing this step. And then this is the side I'm going to hook it in. As you can see, this side's sealed, this side's not. So the hose will hook here, then it'll hook onto the pump, and then we'll be good to go. So now I need to put the lid on, and then we're all good to go. And again, I always put it in the same spot every year, so it should be pretty level. I have a thing here I put it on, and then I have a rock on this side. It'll sit. Turn it the other way. It'll sit right on there. And there's a little flow thing. So when this fills up, it'll flow into the bucket there, and then it's going to flow into the pond after that. So let me hook up the hose next, and we'll come right back. Now I have the hose and I have the clamp and I have the screwdriver, so I'm going to place this right here on this nozzle. I'm going to push it as tight as I can get it. Turn it, push it on there. We don't want any leaks. And then we're going to tighten it up with the screwdriver here, right on the, right at the edge of this hose here, so we don't get any leaks. Just like that. And then after I turn it on, if there are any leaks, I can adjust where the clamp goes. And then the clamp is going to go, the other end of the clamp is going to go here on top of this, and I'll do that in a minute. And here is the pump, and here's the other end of the hose. So we're going to take it and we're going to turn it. We're going to get it on there as tight as we can. My clamp's up here. I'm just getting that out of the way right now. We want to tighten that on there as much as we can. We don't want anything coming loose. So that should be pretty good. It's on there tight. And then we're going to take the clamp at this end and we're going to tighten that to doubly secure it, to make sure nothing is going to happen here where we get a leak. All right, that's nice and tight. Now next I'll put this in the water, and then we're going to turn on the pump and we're going to see how it goes. But I have to get it in here first. And now we're going to put the pump inside the protective thing here to make sure that because if the pump sat on the bottom and any leaves got in there, it could get into the bottom of the pump and then it would clog it and then it wouldn't run. So we don't want that to happen. So we have this here and we tighten it in there to make sure that this is going to stay in there and it's not going to come loose. And then we can put this in the water, then I can plug in the pump, and we can watch the box fill and then make sure we don't have any leaks. Now we have the pump and we're getting ready to set it in the water. And as you can see, the hose is pretty long. After we get everything set up, we're going to hide the hose. We're going to push it along the rocks and hide it so that you won't really see the hose. But right now you see it because we're just trying to test it. So we'll put that in there like that. Make sure it's standing up straight. And then we'll take this and we'll plug it in and we'll test it. The box should fill up in a few minutes. Okay, as soon as we plugged it in, we could see we had water was bubbling up in the back. The issue is that this thing here in the back, it was sticking up and it shoots up. We want to turn it so that it's shooting down. So then I'll re-tighten it and we'll test it. It didn't look like we had any leaks. The water was just bubbling up because I had the thing hooked up wrong. Okay, go ahead. All right, we're plugged back in again and the pump is starting to fill up and it looks like there aren't any leaks. I've looked all around and I haven't seen any other than the thing that I had turned the wrong way. As soon as I turned that the other way, everything was fine. Now looking at the back, sometimes you'll get some drips in the back and you want to tighten up, but everything looks good. So right now, everything should work out well, and you have a working waterfall. All right, the waterfall is looking good. I'm just skimming out some of the debris that has fallen back in. A little bit windy today. We've had some debris, so we use our skimmer. We're going to skim all that out of here multiple times from shore this summer. But we're good to go now. Everything looks good. I might make a slight adjustment on how the water's coming down, but right now it all looks good. It's definitely all coming into the pond.